Hi, my name is Barbara Kellerman, and as some of you may know about me, I write quite a bit and have over the years on leadership, and in recent years increasingly on followership, which I have come to think is as important as leadership. So my newest book, which will be out on April 3rd, published by HarperCollins, and which is lying in front of me, is titled The End of Leadership, which is actually a slightly more ominous title than it really implies. But it's my attempt to summarize where we are now with regard to leadership generally, and where we are with regard to leadership studies, and finally where we are with regard to the teaching of leadership. So essentially this book tries to tell two tales. The first is about leadership and change. I do a brief historical trajectory, and then I talk about leadership and change in the last 40 years, which particularly interests me. And one of the reasons it interests me is because those 40 years coincide more or less exactly with what I call the leadership industry. What exactly do I mean by the term leadership industry? It's my catch-all phrase for the by now countless institutions and individuals and initiatives that in various ways claim to actually teach people how to lead. And one of the questions I raise is the degree of success. I think the book, it's fair to say, was triggered by my noticing that the rise of the leadership industry, that is over the last 30, 40 years, has coincided more or less exactly with the rise in followership, the rise in followers claiming to be entitled and emboldened, and similarly the decline in leadership, that is particularly in the decline in our levels of trust in their belief, in their competence, and so forth and so on. So what was this odd intersection all about? These are the kinds of things that I explore in The End of Leadership. In the beginning of the book, I talk about two kinds of changes in particular that I believe have impacted considerably on patterns of dominance and deference. The first one is about the changes in culture, particularly cultural changes that make everybody feel as if they can attack leaders in ways that historically are unprecedented. And second, the changes in technology that allow everyone to express and connect in ways previously unimaginable. Again, the second part of the book is a look at the leadership industry, in particular, how what we do specifically, the sexiness of the word leadership, the claim that everyone wants to be a leader, that being a leader is better than being a follower, that so many different kinds of people can learn how to lead in more or less the same settings. The field of leadership scholarship, the degree to which that has actually grown along with the leadership industry and how valid it is. The degree to which we have metrics to assess our leadership training and development. So these are all questions I raise in The End of Leadership, and as you may guess from my brief comments, I really do have some changes to suggest, not that they're intended as a magical cure for leadership training and development and leadership education more generally, but that this is a moment really to assess what we've done, to take a critical look at the leadership industry in a way maybe we've never done before, at least not collectively. So I speak as one who has done this kind of work all my professional life, but also as one who has grown somewhat disenchanted with our obvious levels of success, if that's the right word. So the book is a query, it's controversial, and it invites comments from one and all, anyone who has been affected by leadership education, however broadly defined. Thank you.